Hello folks and welcome. So my video for today is Linux Mint 21.1 Xfce Desktop. Xfce Desktop. I'm going to be talking about the panel bar today. This is not a cup of tea for everyone, but more importantly if you want to learn a little bit about the panel bar as far as making things a little bit larger, moving the furniture around a little bit, in other words rearranging the icons, and even be as bold and daring as changing that Linux Mint logo icon. I'll show you a couple of different ways, and I'm also going to show you one tip about recovering that black and white icon. But more importantly, welcome, and I will just make mention of this, that none of my videos on my new YouTube channel are under 2 minutes, but all of my videos do have chapters or timelines. If you hit stop on your video player, you'll know what I'm talking about. Also, if you don't want to subscribe, there's always bookmark. In case you don't want to watch this in one session, you can come back and take a look at that timeline and then come back and watch the remainder of the video. Subscribers are the easiest, but more importantly, I understand a lot of people, or everybody, doesn't have a Google account. So let's go and get going here. So this is Linux Mint 21.1 Xfce Desktop. I'm really not going to give you any more system information other than this is the current version as of March of 2023. Now I do recommend also screenshots if you do certain things. That is of course your choice. But I'm going to start with right-clicking, Panel Preferences. Whether you want to take a screenshot of this box or any other box, the tools are available to you. Go to the menu, type in SC, and I will send mine temporarily to the desktop. So basically the tool is going to be here, and if I needed to make a screenshot of this, very simple, entire active or region, I'm going to use that and basically just give you a sample of this. And then I'm going to save this to the desktop. I'm just going to keep all the defaults. Okay. So we have a screenshot of that, basically. All right, so take a look at the panel bar. It's kind of lit up red. It's in edit mode, and you can slide that back and forth. I would probably use that pretty sparingly since the real estate on this panel bar is kind of precious. But anyways, your choice of how big you want this thing. The number of rows are 6, and that's excessive. But more importantly, you can also resize this thing. So I'm going to highlight that briefly and copy that and reduce that number to roughly about where I had it. It's somewhere, I think it's 36 is the default, somewhere in that region. Okay. So anyways, I'm going to put my number back. Some folks like, you know, larger panel bars, larger things, larger icons, larger mouse pointers, you know, whatever you're into. You can also change some things in here, and more importantly, I'm going to go to the appearance section and just, you can slide on your dark mode, light mode thing, and also let's talk about this one. I'm going to make a screenshot. Actually, there are 2 of them because there's a scroll bar in here, so I'm going to do a screenshot of the first half, just doing the active window, and I'll send it to my desktop. So that's one. And then I'll take the drag bar and go downstairs and take another screenshot. Active window, and OK, and save. This way I know at least I have a starting point. So this is the bottom half, and this will be the top half. Again, you don't have to do any of this stuff. Hopefully you got a good memory. Anyways, if you are wanting to move any of this stuff, starting at the top, the Whisker menu is the Mint menu. So I'm going to take this logo and put it over here on the right-hand side of the screen, just by moving this across. You can see it moving. And now it ended up over here. If I close this, now my logo is over here. Okay, all the stuff still works the same. Okay, but it's just over here. I'll right-click on the panel, Panel Preferences. Back to Items, and I'll go to the bottom and grab a hold of the Whisker menu and move the opposite direction. You can even leave it there if you like. Anyways, I'm going to put it back to where it was. Okay. And you can do this with any element in here. So if you are not found at the time and date thing and you want it over here somewhere, grab a hold of the clock and then basically move it up. In other words, up meaning on this direction. So I can stick it in between those. I can even go further. Now it's in the middle. Now it's going to be sitting almost next to the Mint logo. Okay. So again, this is all up to you. It's very subjective. It's not a cup of tea for everyone, but I wanted to let you see where that is. So I'll put it down here, and you can always reference your screenshots in case you get kind of mixed up in here. So the other thing I'm going to show you here on the Whisker menu is you can hit the gearbox. There's also right-clicking and hitting properties, and it'll achieve the same thing. Application icon size. Let me close this for a second. What you're talking about is the size of these icons. So I could also do it this way. Right-click, properties, and I can go with a screenshot, right? Probably a good idea, not too bad. Let's do a screenshot before we play, and that way we got something to refer back to. So I got smaller and smaller, and let me grab a hold of that, close. I'll change that from how about very large to very large, and you're probably going to go, I wonder what that looks like. Well, it looks like that. It's pretty excessive actually. Properties, very large. Let's go to very small, very small. That's just the opposite, and close, and you have smaller icons. Right click, panel, preferences, items, Whisker menu, same dialog box. And I will make this one small and smaller. We can probably go with the next size up. So smaller, go with small, and let's see what that looks like. Just trying to close those buttons. So that may be comfortable for you, that may not be. Again, that is all up to you. The original I have set for small and smaller. So even if you were to just leave that up there, you could right click, properties, and then just mimic this over here. So small, small, and smaller. Now this should be back to my defaults, okay? If you are wanting to get daring and changing that icon into something different, I'm just going to caution you a couple of times. If you're looking for this icon here, I will show you the path. You may want to bookmark this, but there will be a timeline in here a little bit later for you. So I'm going to hit appearance and grab a hold of this thing, and we can, that's actually where the path is. So what I'm going to do is open this where it normally opens, and you can, these are just icons. If you're looking for a different Mint one, just type in Mint, and you can pick some. You like a green one instead of a black one? There you go. There's a green one for you. Different versions of that. And you can also pick up anything else in here. So if you want this one, you've got that, or even something different. Got lots to pick from. You can even pick your own icons. I don't have a reference for you today. I did on my previous YouTube channel, but not today. So you can even pick up this silly thing like that with this phone business, you know, stuff like that. All right, all icons, image files if you want to bring in your own, no icon, all icons. So again, I'm going to type in Mint. And we can go with also this round one here, but I'm going to put in Linux Mint and see what I get. And that's as far as I needed to go, and all of these are green. So where's your black and white icon located? Well, that's actually in a different location. It's a symbolic link. So let's go find that thing. This is quite a bit of the path, but more importantly, you can get to it. So I'm going to open up my user share folder, and I'm going to double click on that and just type in IC for icons and look for that folder there. So currently my user share icons. We're not done yet. Then you need high color, H-I, or high color. And then it will be, the next path would be scalable. So you can just put an S, scalable. And we're looking for one more, is apps. This is a long path, I understand, but this is in case you wanted to actually go back to the original logo. You're looking for a Linux Mint logo ring. Linux Mint logo ring. This is filled, so that would be Linux Mint logo simple. Linux Mint logo ring symbolic. That one right there. This is a long path to get here, but anyways, folks, that icon will turn into a black and white one here in a second. Okay, those are for your adventuresome folks. So again, recap of the panel settings. You can change the row height. You can go up to 6 rows, excessive, and sometimes, you know, your icons are not, I would say, symmetrical, I guess is the best term. This is very subjective. You can also experiment with the opacity. Don't forget there's a dark and light mode thing over here for the slider. So if I turn that on, you're going to expect a lot of different things in the menus. Okay, so right click, panel, preferences, and appearance. Change that back to that, and your menu is now that color. Panel, preferences, items, and let's say you're not wanting to move your clock in the Whisker menu. Again, that's where the Linux Mint logo is, which is the first item. Again, start with the screenshot if you're not sure. I already have these. And a lot of these things you're not too sure which launchers they are. But more importantly, if you are moving stuff around, just be careful what you're clicking on. Because you can see that I have this highlighted, and as soon as I start pushing this, this will start moving. So now it's in the second position, and I'm moving it across. Now it's in the middle. So if I close this, this will stay here. Okay, right click, panel, preferences, items, Whisker menu. So I'm going to return that back to where it was. And then I'm going to take my scroll bar down here, or you can also resize the box. That's all up to you. And let's say you don't want the audio part here. You want it somewhere else. Well, you can just move that. That is all up to you. You can even move it in the corner if you like. There you have it. Now the date's in between that lightning bolt and that. Same thing goes with your wireless, for instance. So my case, this power plug-in is this one. I can move that around too if I want to. And so there's lots of little things that you can move around is what I'm getting at, folks. So I'm going to move that back up to about right there. So anyways, again, anytime you experiment with these things, this is not a cup of tea for everyone. I highly suggest screenshots. But now you know how to move items around or rearrange the furniture down here. On that note, folks, I will say thank you for watching.